I woke up today really wanting to make a piston door. This is the first concept that I came up with, and it does look pretty awesome, but I thought I could do better, so I came up with this. Look at it. It is an absolute stunner. It's got texture, fake windows, and even a border. Today we're going to be building the dooriest door in all of Minecraft. Step 1 is the opening sequence. You see most Minecraft piston doors, they either slide back on either side, or if we're using slime blocks and honey blocks, maybe the entire thing moves out the way, either to the side or to the top or down to the bottom. That didn't exactly feel in keeping with this magnificent design, so instead I want it to open like an actual door, as if it's kind of gradually swinging open, and it will stay in the half-open state, in the space between these two. Now, I think I have a good idea of how I'm going to do it, but honestly, I'm not entirely sure right now. This is going to be a learning experience for all of us. As much as I love the redstone testing world, I've decided to move into a real Minecraft world. Look at that lovely sunset. So what's really weird about this door is that I can actually place blocks anywhere in this area. Like, there can be a block all the way down here, because if you think about it, all of this is going to be kind of hidden away behind the door. The door does not open like a regular door. It opens in a diagonal. This is kind of the opening. This is the area that I need to have no redstone. By the way, our door is going to be opening out like this. It's going to be arcing this way because I'm left-handed, and left-handed doors are best. Sure, there'll be many fights over this in the comment section. If you don't like it, just reverse your monitor. Now, each segment of this door is 12 blocks total. We've got 6 honey blocks, then 6 of the door blocks, and then we've got another 6 down here. So that does mean that I'm now going to need to connect a flying machine into this piston and power this piston independently. Now that I think about it though, having a flying machine to move something one block seems a little bit ridiculous. So I think for the first 2, we will just have double piston extenders and single piston extenders, and then we'll start introducing flying machines here. Oh, except obviously, very, very obviously, these slime blocks here are sticking to this piston. The whole thing has locked up. I knew this was the case. That was the reason why I wasn't going to do it this way and was purely going to use flying machines. I just forgot. But I mean, just getting a quick glimpse into the opening is very, very satisfying. I wasn't recording when I did it, so you won't have seen it. But I liked it. I think I've actually come up with something quite genius here that will work really easily, will require minimal redstone engineering, and probably be the fastest way to do it. Okay, so we've got the pushers and the pullers. They're all connected. And then all I need to do is attach flying machines to these. I just thought I should actually do them up at the top and the bottoms, just to keep the area behind the door at least a little bit clear in case you wanted to include it in your build. Cool. We are now all in business. All right, that is going to be the motor. Now I'm going to put a temporary line of blocks up here, which are going to act as the stoppers. So they'll stop our door just traveling off into the distance. That would be weirdly dramatic and sad. So all I need to do to close the door, in theory, is to power this redstone line. And that has actually done the trick. Okay. So then to open our piston door, all we have to do is move all of these blocks out of the way and then somehow get a redstone signal to these observers. This one's fine. This one, not so fine. And I can't have any redstone on this side of the door, which was my initial plan, because I was going to have the observer there. Okay, I thought we were on the home straight. I thought this was actually going to be the breeziest redstone contraption I've ever built, but that is an interesting conundrum. So I've decided to ignore it and do this instead, effectively connecting up our flying machine together. Should have done this from the start. So it should all now be ready to go and ready to open. That is pretty spectacular. Okay, that has worked perfectly. And then... oh no, I forgot my blocks! No! Quick! Oh, yes! Oh no, I was too late. I celebrated way too early. No, it totally broke. After a brief reconstruction, the entire door is now working. Here is the doory door in all of its glory, and if we hit this button here, you can hear... get a little doorbell action, and then everything gradually opens up. I can't tell if this is amazing or the stupidest thing I've ever built. Anyway, let's hit the button again, and everything will gradually close up. And there is something about that is really satisfying, isn't there? And the redstone behind it is really simple. Like, it's just flying machines and then connecting them up with some extra bits on the top and bottom. This has honestly turned out to be really easy. Like, if you really wanted to, you could build this in survival mode. If you were just building a really big house, if you wanted some mega block action, then this is the door to build. I've just realized something. This system is pretty expandable. I actually think we could do a 1 block to 1 pixel replica of a door. What would it be? 16 by 32? I think that is possible, but it is going to be mammoth. And so begins the process of building the new dooriest door in all of Minecraft. Goodness gracious me. It has been a very long time since I've built any form of mega block, but I was working off of this as my reference, and you know what? I would say this is actually pretty good. Like, if you squint, this is definitely a door. It also has like a halo effect going on because of the sun behind it, which is extra funny. This truly is the dooriest door that has ever doored. Now I just have to copy what I did over here on a much larger scale. Okay, this design would have worked, but then also wouldn't. So I think I'm going to ditch it for the time being and replace it with this, which I'm 99% certain is going to work. I'm starting to get excited now. I've come up with a slightly bodged solution for stopping our door, stopping it flying off into the sunset. It's not perfect, but it does the trick. And after an incredibly large amount of work, the build is now done. And I've got to say, I'm absolutely chuffed to bits with how this whole thing has ended up looking. And it might just be one of the most satisfying systems I've built in a long time. Look at this thing go. It's just, I don't know, there's something like so old school about this, you know? This feels like a video that I should have made 10 years ago. The idea of building the biggest Minecraft door possible in the style of a regular Minecraft door. I mean, look at this thing. It's gradually closing up, and then eventually it will crash into the stoppers and everything returns back to normal. This thing's fantastic. Before we take a look at the redstone, I actually want to try something out that I haven't done yet, which is to stand at the bottom while it's opening. This feels ridiculous. It feels like I am in a giant's house. That's what it feels like right now. Now, in terms of the redstone, it's actually, okay, I mean, yeah, it's definitely big. It's definitely a bit of a chunky one, but of course, it's just a repeating design. We've got the modules repeating, I'd say, what, 5 times over? All of these obsidian blocks out the back here are the various stoppers so that we stagger our flying machines so that when they launch, they're not compressed because then they wouldn't take off. Because weirdly enough, the motors for this thing are actually over here. These are the things that are moving the blocks for the door, and then everything else is kind of daisy chained onto them. So you can see we've got this piston over here that's attached to the flying machine, and then that piston turns it into 3 pistons, which then turns into 5 pistons, which then turns into this line of pistons. And then everything else on the outside is the activation for the flying machine. So we've got our doorbell, that's very important, and then we just have these 2 vertical redstone lines which activate the flying machines, and that is it. There we go. I'm now going to close the door on this Minecraft redstone video. I hope that you have enjoyed it. It's been a ton of fun to create. This is the first door video I've done for nearly 3 years. I'm feeling old. What?